Hello everyone, it's Sarah from Plan Sarah Plan, and today I'm so excited because I'm going to set up the month of September in my Erin Condren teacher lesson planner. I'm not a classroom teacher. I am a private piano teacher and I have my own studio, but I run things in sort of a school style. So we have 2 semesters during the school year. We have a set number of private lessons and group lessons and recitals each semester. And I find that using a teacher planner, even though it's just me, it's not a classroom, helps me manage my 24 piano students, and it's also fun. So I've made some stickers to help me decorate the monthly view for September. This is a kit that may or may not fit. I made it myself, so we will find out. And then I've printed my students' names on these cute little pencils. And every year, since the schedule is a little bit different than it was the previous year, sometimes a lot different, I have to spend the first month or so at least getting used to who comes when. So this is going to help me to just kind of plot everybody at the right time. I've also made headers to go at the top. And instead of doing what I've done in the past couple of years, which is to put 3:30, 4, 4:30, 5, 5:30, and 6 for those different lesson times, I'm actually starting at 3:30 on Tuesdays, 4 o'clock on Wednesday and Thursday, and 3:30 on Friday. So instead, I'm just doing first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth student or period, if you will, because the time won't be the same every day, but I'll have the same number of students every day. So I am just going to put this on time lapse and set it up. And if you have any questions about how I use my teacher lesson planner to help me organize my piano studio, feel free to ask me in the comments. I love talking about this stuff. Now my monthly view is set up. I have my lesson number of each week. I know when we're having group lessons, and I know sort of the key big things that I need to get done as I know of them right now. And I made my sidebar to include a header for the next month. And I made this last year, so my template is based on last year's teacher lesson planner. I can tell already that I need to make these headers a little bit taller if I want to cover the mid-century circles design. It doesn't look bad since I'm using primarily purple anyway, but when I do October, I may go ahead and enlarge that a bit. All right, so now let's go on. I'm not teaching. This is this week, so we're here right today. But now I'm going to just place stickers. There's not going to be a lot of writing on this part. This will get filled in because I don't use this for lesson plans. I use this to keep track of the schedule, to give me reminders, and this sits on a music stand next to the piano. So I can quickly look and see, for example, if I have my students in here and I know it's somebody's birthday, or if I know that this particular student here has a piece that is due to be learned because they're going to be playing it in church or what have you. This is kind of an overview. I have a whole separate notebook where I keep track of notes during lessons, and maybe I'll show that at the end of this video. All right, I think I have pretty much everything set up that I need for the first week of lessons. I did go ahead and set up my birthdays page here. This is, I transferred this over from last year because my students are mostly the same with a few additions from last year, and then a few kids had graduated, so they're not on the list. And I don't really have to redo my record sheets for things like scale awards, which is where I keep track of like what scales each student knows, how many octaves they're playing, awards that they've received when it comes to scales, or what method book they're in, things like that. I just transfer that stuff over from last year's planner. But I did mention that I don't actually keep my lesson plans or notes in here. This is more of a schedule overview. This is what I'm going to use for my lesson notes. So this is basically a monthly planner combined with a notebook. So I have a great big coil here. I think this is an 18-month size coil. And I have done some reconfiguring of a few different Erin Condren books. So I've moved all of the monthly pages up to the front of this book. So this is just like 12 months of calendars. But then we get into what I'm going to use most of all. So if it's Tuesday and the book is closed and I'm about to teach lessons, I go here. This is the first student of the day. And this student has 5 pages worth. And that will probably last me the entire school year because I only write about this much of the page worth of notes per lesson. So this page will hold 3 to 4 lessons, and there are 31 lessons in the school year. So my next student has a different little page marker here. So I just counted 5 pages and put one of these hexagon sticker page markers there. And this is where the next student of Tuesday begins. 5 pages later is where the third student begins, etc. Well, it's a good thing I went through that because I forgot that I had not already marked off each little 5-page group. And at the end, there were a few little students who were so young that their lesson notes only take up a few lines. So I only marked 4 pages for them. And if you're wondering, these little hexagon page marker stickers come in a pack of 36. So I got these also from Erin Condren. Pretty much everything I'm using here is from Erin Condren, and I will try to remember to link it in the video description. These things were made, and I believe I did a video tutorial on how to make these. I just made these myself, but I attached them with these coil clips. And when I moved the Friday one, I had the hardest time getting it back in, and I figured it out. I had my rings sitting on top of these rings, and this book is just so full that it was hard to pop that back in, but normally those are super easy to pop in and out. Okay, so this thing is ready to go. I've already pre-printed onto these labels piano award. So let's say that a student gets an award in the middle of their lesson. And by award, what I mean is a milestone is reached. So let's say that this student has finished a book. I will grab one of those stickers and put it with that lesson. And that way at the end of the term, when I'm going through their record, it pops out at me very quickly. And I can record what awards each student has won or which milestones they have reached in our recital program at the end of each term. So that's my system for keeping lesson notes during piano lessons. And the kids have their own assignment books, which I actually make for them. And they keep track of their assignments in there as long as they're old enough to write. If not, and then I jot down their assignment or email it to their parent to jot down. But this is my record. This just makes it so much quicker for me. Even though things are in the computer, I love having this sitting on my lap. So I know when we're beginning this lesson, I have right in front of me what we did at our last lesson. And it's just a super effective way for me to keep track. So, all right, I'm all set up. I'm so excited. I'm set up to start piano lessons next week. If you found this helpful, I am glad. I know this was kind of different because I'm not a classroom teacher. And I also realize a lot of private piano teachers don't use lesson planners like this. So it might have been interesting, if not helpful. And so here is a quick look at what we have here. And this might get filled in with things like something important that happened at that lesson, or a reminder to me when this student comes, I need to make sure I give them this book or whatever. This is my overview, and maybe by the end of September, I will have this schedule of students memorized. I sure hope so. And then I went ahead, I didn't really talk about this. I went ahead and went past the October spread because the fourth lesson of September, it is in September, is going to be group lessons on these 3 days, which are all in September. So I started to put down the names, and then I remembered, no, that's not going to be the schedule. So I will schedule several different group lessons. If we have nice weather, we're going to do ours out on the patio, and it will be kind of like, we'll call it a piano party, but we will sneak in music theory. So I hope it will be lots of fun. And if it's not good weather, then we do this on Zoom. So I am going to plan to come back and do this in October. And maybe by then I'll have a fatter sticker set up. I need to probably rescan these pages. I do make the stickers myself. If you're new to my channel, then you may not have any idea how I came up with these stickers. But I design and make the stickers myself unless I buy a sticker kit on Etsy. And I have a machine that cuts them out. That's a whole other deal. But I'm going to rescale my stickers since last year's setup was a little bit different. The margin seems to be bigger this year. So for October, hopefully I'll have something that covers this great big area. So thank you for joining me for this teacher planner setup for September, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.